In this video we're going to be talking about these, the Saucony Kinvara 14. What is up everybody, and welcome to Saucony HQ, that's not, here in Broxbourne in Hertfordshire. Now before we start, where are you in the world? Let me know in the comments, and while you're in those comments let me know also if you're a fan of the Kinvara. Now the Kinvara shoe has in 2023 got a bit controversial because the guys at Saucony came out with the Kinvara Pro. Now this shoe has kind of confused many people, upset some people, and then there's the other side of the argument like me who absolutely love it. But they've also sort of, I wouldn't necessarily say upset, but they've sort of given the die-hard fans of the Kinvara a reason to moan. Now I'm going to come on to that reason in just a minute because we're going to talk about the stats and features, and then we're going to come on to the bits I like about the shoe, things I don't like, and then we're going to wrap it up at the end and I'm going to tell you exactly what I think about this shoe. Okay, so the reason the die-hard fans I think are sort of, I wouldn't say upping arms about the shoe, but they're not overly impressed, is because this shoe has had an increase in stack. The shoe has gone up to 31mm stack in the heel, and that's up from 28.5 for the previous shoe. It's 27 in the front, and the previous version was 24.5 in the front, so you really felt like a low contact at the front of the shoe. It still remains very light, 203 grams in my UK 9.5. It fits true to size. We've got the Power Run midsole, we've got a Power Run Plus sock liner in there, which is really nice. We've got this mesh upper, which is very similar to what we've got on the Endorphin Pro. We've got some nice touches of suede around the shoe. We've got a, I think it is, yeah, gusset your tongue in there as well. Like I said, it fits true to size and it just fits really nice. I really like the upper. I'll come on to those likes, but I really like the upper because of the breathability of it. The outsole is that sort of exposed Power Run outsole which you get also on the Kinvara Pro, which will get chewed up. I've taken, oh you ain't gonna see it, but it's starting to burn out here along this side. Also with the sort of little bits of XE900 that have been placed on the shoe, you get nice little bits of stone stuck in there. So that's the sort of stats and features of the shoe. Oh, price. This shoe is currently retailing in many places for £87, which makes it a bit of a bargain, but I'll come on to that at the end of the video. Right, so let's talk about, well, let's talk about where you would use the shoe. So this is that shoe that you put in your rotation for those up-tempo workouts, speedier sessions. I think also if you're somebody who doesn't necessarily like a lot of stack, you like that real natural ground feel to your running shoes. The Power Run midsole is obviously firmer than the stuff that's in the Endorphin, although this version seems a little bit softer, but I don't know whether that's the increased stack or not. But yeah, this is the sort of, I think, Brooks Hyperion shoe. This is what the Kinvara is. Lightweight, up-tempo, kind of daily trainer, but more focused on them faster workouts. I mean, for example, this could be used easily down the track, right? And at £87, I think it's, well, I'll come on to that. But yeah, so like, I don't know, if you don't want any carbon in your shoes, this is a good alternative to some of those like Takumi Sens that are out there currently. Okay, so that's the use of the shoe, done the stats and features. So let's get on to the things I like and I don't like. I like the breathable upper, I mentioned that before. I like the just the overall fit and feel of the shoe. I really appreciate Saucony shoes at the moment because they all seem to fit really well for me. I like the lacing on the Saucony shoes at the moment. You can see because I can't be bothered to undo this one, but I really like the lacing on the shoes at the moment. From the Saucony you get these, let me just, eyelets here, so you get a real decent lockdown. The Power Run midsole's okay. It's actually, I think, very sort of purposeful for this shoe. That sort of, yeah, lightweight, up-tempo, daily trainer, that you want that sort of firmer ride so you can feel the speed. I think that works really well in this shoe. I like the fact that it's simple and it's effective. We don't have any carbon in the shoe. I think that's actually a positive about it. I like the fact that it's currently £87. I think that's brilliant. And also like the weight, 203 grams, my UK 9.5. is brilliant. So the things I don't like, I don't particularly care much for the outsole. I think that would get absolutely ruined in a very, very short space of time. That's one of the big drawbacks of this shoe, and actually also the Kinvara Pro. Which is a shame, but I understand why they've done it, because they're trying to keep the weight down. You've obviously got little bits of this XT900 that's been placed, I think it's XT900, on the shoe. But really, I don't know, could they have done with putting some on it? Probably yes. Do I dislike the increase in stack versus the previous shoe? No, I'm not that fussed. I get why people are sort of, again, not up in arms, but a bit upset about it, because they like the traditional feel of the Kinvara. So by adding this stack to it, I get where they're coming from. But for me, that's not a negative. The other negative, it's not really negative, but I think it's the only comment or observation. I'm wondering whether this shoe now really is kind of redundant. It's a bit old-fashioned. With the other technologies that are out there, I'm wondering whether the Kinvara will survive. That's not to say this is a bad shoe or any shape or form, right? But there's so many out there, super trainers, you know, Takumi Sen with carbon rods in it and that sort of stuff. You've got the New Balance SC Pacer. You've got all these sort of super fast 5K shoes. I'm just wondering with the Kinvara still has a place sort of, well, in this world. But I think you could temper that with the fact of people who prefer a traditional shoe may actually like the Kinvara and keep going back to it. So yeah, I think you could temper some of that argument, but I do wonder now if this model is getting a little bit dated. Okay, but here's the thing, right, and this is why I want you to stick around to the end of the video, because I think at £87, and you'll probably be able to get it cheaper, I think actually to slot one of these into your rotation at that price is almost a no-brainer. Because if, like me, you have a session in the week, or maybe 2 sessions, where you do need something light and fast, this is a perfect shoe for that. Think Brooks Hyperion. I've been using that for those sessions, those club runs where I need to do a little bit of pace or heel repeats, that sort of thing. This would be a great shoe to pull out for that, and I think that's where it's got a place in your rotation. Is it the out-and-out daily trainer? No, unless you want a more traditional feeling ride. I don't think it is, but it is a lightweight shoe that you can do park run in, that you can do those heel repeats in, that you can do those speed sessions, that you can go to the track and knock out, you know, 400-meter repeats, that sort of thing. It's £87, and I think that's where it makes it interesting. If this shoe, like, and I don't know what the actual retail price is, yeah, but the fact that this is £87 on whatever stores I've seen it on, it does make it appealing. If it was more than that, I don't think it would be appealing, because there's other stuff out there that you could say, you know what, let's go for that. But under £100, let's be fair, under £100, I do think it is a shoe that you could contemplate adding into your rotation, but you would need that, you know, that daily trainer, and you would need that sort of race day shoe. It's that one that would fit in somewhere for those speedier sessions. So that's it, the Kinvara 14. Yeah, you know, it's all right. It's, as I say, I do wonder whether the Kinvara is going to survive. Let's see what happens with it. The Kinvara Pro I love. I know it's split opinion, but you know, I like the increased stack in this. I like the foam. I think I love the simplicity of it. It does the basics very well. And like I said, at £87, I do think it is worth considering.